My mother got the call that night, saying both your sons are in critical condition, saying it's 50-50 and Muji's probably not going to make it. I woke up, I asked one of the nurses, I told her that I couldn't feel my feet, and she answered by telling me that because they're not there. I'm considered a bilateral AK-BK amputee. On my left, I don't have my knee, so the prosthetic is actually a mechanical knee. And on my right, the amputation was like mid-calf. The first time I stood up was about 4 months after my accident, and I stood up for about 10 seconds, and I was drenched in sweat. Once I got up and got going to walk on a treadmill, I did that religiously for the first year and a half that I was out of the hospital, and started to become a little more normal. One of the questions I asked the doctor when I found out about my amputations was, do they make prosthetics that you could run in? My prosthetic placed Next Step Bionics and Prosthetics. I was provided my first pair of running legs. There was a running clinic for mobility impaired runners at Harvard University, so I picked them up on that Friday, and then by the end of the clinic I was jogging up and down the field unassisted, and I remember it was such a liberating feeling, and I was immediately addicted to that idea of going fast. And so when I left, I sort of made up my mind that I was going to be as fast as I could possibly be on these prosthetics, and that's where I started working to be a Paralympic sprinter or anything like that, but I didn't have a place to work out at, so this was my only option, to drive up here. Some of the same sort of things that I learned in the workouts through coaches, through my teammates, were some of the same things that I lean on now and I leant on throughout my recovery. My thing was never just to overcome adversity, it was to learn to strive in my adverse situation. This time last year, my son was actually born in the same hospital, Brigham and Women's, that I was brought to that night, so it sort of came completely full circle in a good way.